guys, thank you and welcome back to my channel. So for this week makeup look, we're gonna trying out something like this. So for this makeup look, we're gonna trying to playing out with a little bit more editorial with sharp line and negative space. With that said, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. And don't forget to ring that bell button right here for next week notifications. I post on YouTube every Saturday and on Instagram IGTV every Sunday. And with that said, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and all the social media at bella.c.snow. Let's get started. So just to start out with this makeup look, I already hydrate my face with my moisturizer and using the Ulla Henderson Banana Bright Face Primer as a primer. But I think I'm gonna go in with another primer, the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I haven't used this one forever. I think I stopped using it because it's more like a silicone base. But now for some reason I start liking the silicone base primer, filling up all my pores. And another of my primer that I love that is also silicone based is actually the Murad Invisibler. This one also have a built-in SPF of 30. I have Andre trying this out and he's been wearing it to work every single day because have SPF and also blurring out pores without having to wear makeup. Not like you have to wear makeup, but he's been loving it because have SPF. So before I'm starting my base, I'm just gonna start out doing my eye makeup first this time. So I'm just gonna go in and prime and put my concealer, just a light coat to help set underneath so the pigment can go on a little bit more better. So the concealer I'm using is the Born This Way concealer. I'm using the color in Nude. So I'm just gonna put a little bit right there. That's already a makeup look. Using the beauty blender, I'm just gonna blend it out. Just lightly. Usually I don't do my brows first. A lot of people do the brows first to give the shape of their face, but I don't feel like I like to do that first because with the moisturizer and the primers already on your skin, it's a little bit slip and sliding up there still, so it's not really like set and dry for the brows to stay. So that way I like to do my brows when I finish my foundations. And now that I neutralize my eyelid, I'm just gonna go in to set it lightly with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. And I'm using the e.l.f. blush brush. So you would want to set your lid, just make sure it's have a good dry and neutral coat. If you have more like a wet lid, all the pigment gonna stick in there wherever it's wet, so it's more like blotty once you're applying the eyelid makeup. And now that is dry, we're just gonna go in with the masking tape. So majority color I'm just gonna use today is black. So that's why we're gonna do the eye makeup first so it doesn't fall into my foundations. So to start out, I'm just gonna go in with the NARS Eye Series in Night Flight. I think I use this one a lot. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with it. And I don't have that high of a lid, so usually when I open my lid, my fold is like right there. So I'm just gonna go right above it, just at 2 centimeters, just a little bit above it. Or if you can feel your socket, if you like close your eye and look down, you can really feel your socket right there. So that's where I usually gonna stop right on my socket line. It's always good to have like a sharper edge when you're doing this. So the trick is when you like roll it up, you just use like a paper towel and go in and pinch the top and twist it. So that's gonna help sharpen the edge also. And they do have like a sharpener on the back, but I don't like to use those ones because they usually get more messy that way. So if you keep twisting onto the paper towels, it's gonna give you like more like a sharp point. And a good tip for this one is always gonna step back away from the mirror to see the balance between the two lines. Sometimes when you look too close to your eyes and you just see one eye, and then when you step back it's like it's not even. Just take a step back and see if they're even or not. And it's okay if two eyes not exactly the same, because nobody two sides of their face is the same one. It's the same size or same shape. And the reason for that is because your heart is on the left side, so sometimes you get more blood flow on this side than on your right side. So that's why everybody's faces have slightly different. And I think that's pretty good so far. And the tip for you to go outside from where the tape is, go more like inward like this rather than trying to kick up the tape, because you want to have like a clean line right over here. Now I'm just gonna go in to set out the cream, because if you see it still have a little bit more still showing your skin. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and set it down. So the color I'm using, I'm just gonna go in with the Kat Von D right here, and I think the color is called Shadow. And the brush I'm using is just a Sephora number 15, the small shadow brush. So now I'm just gonna press into shadow and then set on the eyelid, because the pencil is more like a cream, just like your foundations. Anything after a cream you want to set it with more like a powder, so that way it's going to stay a little bit more longer. And just be careful when you go outside to the edge area. Just go more like a smaller stroke, or go in with more like a slightly smaller brush. Another good brush to use is actually this one, the Sephora Pro number 18. Yeah, the shader brush. This one is also another good one to go into that really sharp tight line. And if you happen to like messed up, just go in with like a Q-tip and a little bit more a moisturizer or a makeup remover to remove it. So I've been wanting to try out this technique for like a long time. You can always use a different color for the dominant color. It doesn't have to be black. I'm just gonna go in with black so you can see the contrast. And now that your eye looks solid and look like a panda bear, and no pun intended, so now I'm just gonna go in to create that negative space. I'm gonna go in and using the Embryolist. This is my face moisturizer. I use this before I do my makeup. It's also good for like face primer. It's really emollient. And I tend to use a lot of powder, so if you're using a more emollient or heavier moisturizer underneath, it's gonna help you absorb all the powder on top. So now with a Q-tip, you're just gonna go in and slowly clean up, or like an eraser, just erase the shape you want to be more like negative space. And it might take a hot minute for it to come out, because we're using black. You can always use another color. So pretty much what you're doing right now is, imagine you're drawing a wing liner but with a Q-tip to erase it. So you're just practically using a Q-tip to draw that shape in, and with the moisturizer or the makeup remover erasing that part, that create the negative space. And I'm just gonna go in and take out a larger portion of the negative space, just so you can see it, because I have a smaller eye. Okay guys, I did take a hot minute to clean up all the line and reshape the eye shape that I like. And I already go ahead and did one side of the eye with cleaning it off, and put a little bit more foundations on it with a line on the bottom. So to do that, I'm just going to go in with the eyeliner again, and just going to go in and color in my bottom lash line. I'm not going to go all the way in, but I'm just going to stop 2/3 way there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and follow that tape line and pull all the way up. And barely connect to that top line right there. So by doing that, you kind of see like the illusion of the negative space of the wing that start to shape up right there once you connect that bottom line to the top line. So with the Sephora shader brush, I'm just gonna go in with the Kat Von D black palette, black color. I'm just gonna go right on top just to set that shadow. Make sure everything is set down. And again, I'm just gonna go in with a Q-tip with a little bit of moisturizer and makeup remover. I'm just gonna clean that line up a little bit. And I'm not gonna connect the inside line right here together. I'm just gonna leave like a space. I feel like that's gonna be a little bit more cooler graphic line. And that after you do that, you can always just leave it right there, but I'm just gonna pop up the color a little bit more so it's easier to see. So I'm just gonna go in with the concealer, apply on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna go in with the Sephora Angle Lip Brush right here with a little bit of concealer just to color in that negative space. So I want that negative space to look like skin. That's why I'm coloring it in with like a concealer rather than just like a color. You can always go in with a color too, but I'm just gonna make it look more like skin. So this is practically cut crease, but cut wing liner. And I really want to have like a sharp line, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take my time with it. And once that happening with the line, I'm just gonna go in with a setting powder. You can use that translucent powder. I'm gonna go in with the MAC Studio Fix powder right on top. The Studio Fix color I'm using is NC20. There we go. And now the fun part, just take off the tape. And you have that perfect line right there. Put all the line connected together, and with a Q-tip again. And now just go in with a little bit moisturizer or Q-tip, just clean up around it, of any fallout. I'll clean up the line that to match with the other side. That's going to be the eye makeup so far after I clean up everything. So now we're just going to go in with the foundation. So I already set my skin, so now I'm just going to go in with the foundation. I'm using the Fenty New Hydrating Foundations. This is actually my new favorite one, and I've been using this foundation like the last few days already. The color I'm using is number 240. And now I'm just gonna go in with my regular foundation brush, the Sephora Dual N number 202. This foundation is so hydrating, it's so good like during the day or any day that I have a little bit more drier skin. So this practically just became my new favorite and go-to foundations. And I'm not gonna go close to the eye because I'm just gonna put concealer under eye there anyway, so I don't want to build too much foundations on. And because I have 2 scars right here from my surgery when I was little, I think when I was like 5, 7, 9, junior year of high school and senior year of high school. So I had surgery there like a couple of times. There we go, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with the beauty blender. I'm gonna tap in a little bit because of foundation, because I usually don't like to go in with just beauty blender alone. Then it's just gonna help take off the foundation. So get a little bit of foundation on the back of the beauty blender and then go in with it. And now for concealer, I'm just gonna go in with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and the color I'm using is Nude. I'm gonna go in like full editorial makeup look today, so I'm just gonna use a little bit more concealer and foundations, a little bit more full coverage. And lately I like to leave my concealer there just a little bit longer for it too big. It's not big, it's preserving your concealer. So I'm just gonna lay it there, let it dry a little bit, get a little bit more tacky before I blend it out. And with that said, I'm just gonna go ahead and go in and check my Instagram. And if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe to my Instagram and all the social media at bella.sleep.snow. Do it now while my concealer is preserving. Okay. And now that my concealer is well preserved like Korean kimchi, I'm just gonna go ahead and go in and blend it out. Just be careful when you go to the line. You can always fix it later, but just be careful first so you don't have to like go back in later. And I feel like when you preserve your concealer, it's get it to a little bit more drier, a little bit more tacky. It's gonna give you a little bit more like fuller coverage. Remember how last week, if you haven't watched my last week, I mentioned we went to the OC night market. It was so much fun. We took our my parent-in-law, Andre's parents, to go to the night market because they've never been to like Orange County or the night market, and we've never been there either. So we got in by one of our friends that have like a booth there. One of the vendor, they have an ice cream and cafe shop. It's called Nitrolato, and we're trying this stuff. It was so good. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted on my Instagram story. And we're trying to vlog the whole trip when we get there, but it's so hard. Andre had the camera, but we couldn't really vlog. So when we went there, we got this big ass baby bottle right here. So we got this big ass baby bottle right here for like drinks, and we fill up with, I think it's cucumber lime that Andre likes. So we fill this whole bottle up. We fill up like twice or 3 times for the whole night, and it's giant and it got so heavy. I think it's about like 3 pounds or something of water liquid. This is like 2 gallons. I have that on my hand, and Andre had like a camera on his other hand. And then we got food, and there was like really no table around for us to like put our stuff there. So everybody, like both of our hand like have food. So it was really hard for us to like vlog because we can't put anything, stuff down like on the ground because it was so dirty. So we was practically standing and eating at the same time. Next up, I'm just gonna go in. Actually, I just got this one at Sephora, the Huda Beauty cream bronzer, cream contouring, and I got the color in light. So I've been using this for like twice now. They come in with like a tab like this, so you're just gonna open it, and I've been using it like the other day, like 1 or twice. It's pretty good. I'm shocked that the formulation here is really good. It's very similar to like the Kevin Aquan palette that they have like in a small package. So I'm just gonna go in with the other end of the Sephora brush to applying it. And to blend out, I'm just gonna go in with the this actually from like Pat McGrath brush number 3, I believe. And the formulation, I tried it. I've been wanting to try it for like a long time, and the formulation is so good. I think I love her foundations too. I've been using it for a very long time when it first launched. The Huda foundation is more like a full coverage. But the only thing with it is it's not hydrating, so I can't always use it. I always have to mix it with like foundations or like a hydrating moisturizer. And now I'm just gonna go in with the JD Weighty brush right here. It's my all-time favorite nose contouring brush, and I think it's coming in like the whole set. I'm just gonna use this end right here and dip into that cream contouring from Hoola. I'm just gonna do my nose contouring. The way I'm doing it, I'm just gonna draw 2 lines right down. So now I'm just gonna go into blend using the Pro Cream Shadow number 28 from Sephora. Right here. It's more like synthetic blends. It's just gonna help blend out any cream. And I also like to blend my nose contouring all the way up to my brows. Kind of blend it into my brows also, so it's become one continuous line. I feel like I'm drawing my face for Circus du Soleil or something. And you know, growing up, I always want to like be in a circus. always want to be like in gymnastic, but my dad don't want me to do it because he don't want me to like come home with like a broken bone, or he just don't want to drive me to it. And now that's all blended, I'm just gonna go in to set my foundations with the Laura Mercier, the old school powder, everybody's favorite. So I'm just gonna press a little bit on my beauty blender, tap them out because you don't want to like a lot of powder. So I'm just gonna press on the back of my hand to dust off all the powder, and then set everything. And now that everything is set in there, I'm just gonna go in with the Hourglass ambient lighting in luminous light with this e.l.f. powder brush. So I'm just gonna dust this on my cheek. This is gonna give you more like that inner luminous glow. I think I use this on all my makeup look because I don't want it to be matte everywhere. So mostly it's gonna be on my cheek and a little bit on my forehead. That's it. And now for bronzer, I'm just gonna go in with the Becca Sunlight Bronzer in Caprice Coast, using the Morphe brush number M106. I'm not so dehydrated. Next, I'm just gonna go in with the nose contour. I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in light. And using the one of the Sephora Pro contouring brush number 79, I'm just gonna use that to blend out the side of the nose contouring. And at this time, I'm just gonna go ahead and rehydrate my face. I'm gonna go in with the Trader Joe facial water, facial toner, rose water. Sure. It's a little creepy.
The fuck is this? Damn it. Oh my god! What the fuck? It's almost ready too. God damn it!
So we're just gonna go in with the Buxom palette. So this is my custom palette. So I'm just gonna go with the color right here, and it's called Patent Leather. So I'm just gonna go in with the Sephora shader brush before. I'm just gonna press that pigment right on top of that. And now that my face is slightly big, I'm just gonna go in and dust off the big from my forehead. I'm just gonna leave the under eye big there a little bit more longer for it to give it a little bit more brighter look. This is the Smith Rosebud Soft. And now I'm just gonna go in and finishing off my brows, and then be right back. Hi guys, and I am back. So I did go ahead and dust off all the big and put on my lip liner. So the lip liner I'm using is actually the Morphe lip liner in Love Bite for the lips. And also the lip highlighter, I'm using the Anastasia Amore highlighter on top of the lips. And I did happen to have to go in with the Kat Von D, the wider shade. The Kat Von D wider shade right here, just to go in with the negative space, just popping it out a little bit more. So we're just gonna go in with the shader brush and just gonna press the pigment in right there, right where the negative space is, just to pop it out a little bit, to make it a little bit more pop. So I thought I like it to have a little bit more skin tone, but then it's just blending out a little bit too much, so I just wanted it to pop. So now just gonna have like white. So now practically have more like a white wing liner. It's still gonna be negative space. So now that all that is done, I'm just gonna go into put on my finishing powder. I'm using the Sephora Smooth Bake finishing powder in number 30 in medium. I'm using a Sephora brush number 79. I'm just gonna go ahead and buff that all over and blending everything out. And I like to switch between the 79 and the 74 round domed brush. And with that So Choose same brush, I'm gonna go in with the Bobbi Brown finishing powder in number 2 in nude. And doing the same thing, just buffing it into the skin. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of the Hourglass ambient lighting just to give me that glow with the swoop, with just one swoop. And for the face highlighting, I'm just gonna go straight to the Anastasia Asbury highlighter. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with the Ardell Wispy Lashes. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, and that is it for this makeup look. A little bit more glam rock in play with negative space. So I did go in and finish this makeup look with the Melanie Thick Blush in Luminoso. And also I put a little bit more of the glitter liner from Urban Decay in Glam Rock. I need to get a new one. I'm almost out of that one. And I love those one. And the lipstick that the matte lipstick I went over is actually from Marc Jacob, and the color is in number 452, Fawn Over Me. And that is it for this makeup look for this week. Oh, forgot one thing. Just gonna put in a little bit more gloss. I'm using the Jeffree Star gloss in Diamond Juice. And with that is the finished look for this week, playing with negative space. If you happen to like this look, don't forget to give me a like right down below. And while you're there, don't forget to press the subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button for next week notifications. I post every Saturday and also on my IGTV on Instagram on Sunday. And with that said, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media at bella.c.snow. With that said, see you next week.